welcome back to Jedi Cubing, and today we're going to be looking at how to ladder mate. Ladder mating is a way to mate when you have 2 queens, 2 rooks, 1 queen and 1 rook, or the other way around. So, Black's king has no other pieces. You can do this with only rooks, however it will be harder, and if you have a pawn, say like on a2, advance it. And if you don't know already, if you advance a pawn from the beginning to all the way to the end, it'll turn, you have an option to turn it to a queen, knight, bishop, or rook. I usually always do queen, unless if I turn it to a knight, then it's checkmate, which almost never happens. But that's how I have 2 queens here. So, what do we do? It's Black's turn, so let's make him go up. The first thing you need to do to ladder mate is get one of the queens below the king. Why do we have to do this? Oh, this can also be a rook too, but why do we have to do this? So the king can't come down. See, the king is forced to go to this square. Okay? Then we're going to put the other queen actually, first rule. Make sure the queens aren't on the same file, which means like they're not on the 1 file. No, like both not on the two file. Like, just make sure they're not on the same line. Because if you do that, then move it away. So if they're on like these horizontal lines together, or like these, you get what I mean. Just a bunch of arrows. But make sure they're not on the same. So let's give an example if they were on the same. So if they're on the same, it's Black's turn. Let's make him go down. Just make them get off. Easy peasy. It's check, so he has to move up there. Now we put the queen right beside our other queen. So it forms a little diagonal, or the queen could be here, here, or here, or here. Just make sure it's protected. Then it's the king. He has 3 squares to go to. Let's make him stay on the same file. Okay? Now how do we mate? This is very easy. We just take tiny footsteps. We first get our bottom queen 1 step ahead to check the king. Okay? So now the king could actually never move backwards from this king. However, if this king was not here, and like it was over here or something, then he still wouldn't be able to move here, because this blocks out everything. And he can't stay on this line because it's the queen, so it blocks out all these squares. So he's forced to go to these. He goes up. Then we get the bottom queen up. Check. He's forced to go up again. You can see where this is going. Once the king can't go up, it's mate. So, up. And this is the part where people usually resign, but if they want to have a fair game, they'll go up one more time, and then get the bottom queen. That's a checkmate. Because he can't move here because of this queen. He can stay because it's check. And he can't move down because it's check. This is why I like it with queens, because the queens can protect each other. However, if these were rooks, the king could come over here or something. If like just come closer to the rooks, and then they could take the rook. But they can't take the queen because the queens are protecting each other. So I'd advise you to have a queen. So if you have a pawn, like on this 2 file, or a pawn anywhere, and like the opponent just has a king or some more pawns, then I'd advise you to get that pawn to a queen and then ladder mate, because it'll be a lot easier and a lot less moves. Well, but that's how you ladder mate. I'll show you how to ladder mate with a rook in another video, or maybe even today I'll post that. But today, this is how you ladder mate with queens. I'll also maybe do a video of how to ladder mate with a queen and a rook, but it's basically all the same thing. You just keep taking tiny footsteps, like here. Just take some tiny footsteps, like walking. Tiny footsteps, and eventually you'll be mate. He cannot move up because, of course, there's no more up. If there were more up, we'd just keep moving our queen above until it's the edge of the board, and then it's a mate. However, usually people will like resign when they're in this position, or really they'll resign when they only have a king and there's already queens. Like they'll resign in this position. However, if they don't, then you can just torture them with the ladder mate. Just get a queen below the king. Okay. Oh wait, this is stalemate. Just be careful of stalemate too. That is also a very important lesson. Be careful of stalemate. Just get the queen under. Okay. King moves here. Now get the queen protected with the other queen. So we're on like the G file has the F file and H file protected. Okay? So if you have a queen on the G file, put a queen on the F or H, or just one of the files that's connected. And then just check and take some baby footsteps. Baby footstep. Baby footstep. Baby footstep. Just pretend you're walking. Kind of shows like a tiny walking animation. See? Tiny steps. Tiny steps. The queens are like the feet. Up and up until it's mate. It's like how dolphins lead fish up. But in this case, the queens or dolphins are leading the king or fish up to mate or eating. Anyway, that's a funny example. But that's the end of this video. Next I'm going to make a video of how to do it with the rooks, which will be a little harder. However, it's the same idea. Well, I'm going to end the video here. Leave a like and subscribe.